Welcome into tonight's live post-game episode as the Who's defeated Manhattan 74-65. I have to say before we get started, this episode is brought to you by Mincers, a beloved part of the UVA community since 1948. For generations, Mincers has been the go-to spot for high-quality, well-designed, and long-lasting UVA sportswear. Whether it's game day or just an ordinary day, Mincers has everything you need to rep the Who's in style, from t-shirts and polos to sweatshirts, hats, and more. They've got it all. It doesn't stop there. Mincers also carries game day accessories to help create fun, lasting family memories. Don't forget their orange tag sales or orange tag deals. They're always a way to save while looking your best. Mincers isn't just a store, it's a family tradition. So next time you're in town, stop by Mincers and see why they've been a part or the heart of UVA spirit for over 75 years. They've got 2 locations in Charlottesville, and you can go to mincers.com. So tonight, the Who's get back on the winning track with a 74-65 win over Manhattan. I didn't miss my UVA score, but by 2. I had 72-54 Virginia as a prediction. So, Jay, any initial thoughts?
Yeah, good offensive performance tonight. I think they needed that after, the 2 in the Bahamas, where it was just ugly for pretty much the 80 minutes of basketball we played. It was pretty ugly on the offensive end for all of them. But it's a little bit alarming to me to shoot the ball so well, and yet you only beat Manhattan by 9. Which is, Maryland beat them by 30 this year, already held them to 49. And, Maryland's got a pretty good team this year, but I was expecting a little bit of a more dominant win, and especially considering how well they played offensively. You're happy to get a win, of course. You get back in the win column. That's great, and ultimately that's what matters. But I'm sure we'll talk about some of the things that we didn't like as well.
Yeah.
What were your initial thoughts?
Yeah. So, of course, the offense was rolling, and I think we left a lot of points on the board actually. So, Blake Buchanan in the first half, I didn't know who that Blake Buchanan was because all around the rim, the touch, and all that. And the second half was the Blake Buchanan we've seen this year. He lost that touch. I was telling you to just keep feeding him. He had the size advantage. I'd like to see him get some confidence. And then also the other thing, I was just texting you, Andrew Rohde. He's been one of our better offensive players. His confidence level has definitely gone up, but he made 2 foul shots tonight. So that was pretty good. McNeely was 5 of 6 from the foul line. McNeely did, McNeely things. It's just a different team. You see how good that St. John's team and that Tennessee team are. They're really good. Virginia, I think Virginia, to your point about the defense isn't what Virginia defense normally looks like. However, all these guys are brand new. And so learning to play a pack line defense, that quick, it's just not going to happen. And it's not Tony Bennett teaching it. And so it's going to take some time for the defense to develop. I think this Virginia team, it's hard to say. Where are we now? 4-2, 6 games in. Is that right?
Yeah, six games in. So you're a fifth of the way through the season.
I think it's going to be, 20%. I think this, it's hard to say, of course, but this early. However, I think this team's probably going to be a middle of the pack at best ACC team, because I don't think the ACC is very good. So I think we'll win our share of games in the ACC. But that Tennessee and that St. John's game sent a message. Our physicality is just not what some of those teams are. Our athleticism. McNeely couldn't get open against St. John's to get a shot up. He threw one off the top of the roof in the
yeah.
in the
That barn they
Bahamas.
were playing in, whatever
Yeah,
that was.
yeah. So
I thought Day played a good game tonight. One of the things I think they're going to have to do in ACC play, specifically Day and IMAC, is they set a lot of those high ball screens, and the defender is either trailing it at times or even going under, which is just flat out disrespectful to guys who can shoot it. And we still tend to not take that shot. And I mean, sometimes it's very early in the shot clock, and I understand that's just not how Virginia plays very often, but you pass it up sometimes and you don't get a much better shot,
right.
especially if you're IMAC. I mean, if he's open, you just feel like it's going in every time if he's open. But when he starts dribbling to the basket, at this point in Kyle Guy's career, he had developed his game to where he could drive to the basket and score effectively. I just don't see that in IMAC's future. He hasn't gotten there yet. We're in year 3. I don't see that being a part of his game, really. Just take every shot you can get that is, even if it's a little bit contested, you can get it up without a whole lot of effort. That's a good shot for this team. They need him to shoot it. It's not just that, he could score more. No, this team needs IMAC to shoot that shot. And
only four 3-point attempts tonight and only 10 shots.
Yeah, that's just not enough.
Which
in a game you only won by 9, and you scored 74, but you only won by 9. That game, it just kept. We'd push the lead up, they'd make a run, and they just never died. Credit to Manhattan. I don't think they were not afraid to come in JPJ. They looked like they believed they could win till IMAC hit that 3 when it was at 6 with a minute to go, and their coach was saying just get one stop.
Yep.
And IMAC comes through, hits the 3. You just wish you didn't have to have that. I mean, and maybe it benefits them later in the year that they played a closer game like that. But I mean, I just felt like it wasn't the greatest greatest defensive effort for sure. And I'm just not sure. Like, we only played 8 tonight, and honestly, I don't have the minutes in front of me. Power didn't play much at all tonight.
Not at all. Yeah.
And so Attain didn't play a ton. So it was really mainly a 6-man rotation.
Yep. I would like to. I was gonna say I would like to see Power play more in those games to potentially, build some confidence. As Dan Bonner said on the telecast, as we've talked about this, he's a shooter. He's supposed to be a shooter. If he's not making his shot, he doesn't bring you much to the table.
Yeah, he only took 2. He only took limited 2 shots. Time he was on the floor, made one of them. And that made you feel good. Maybe it was going to be his night, but again, didn't get a lot of run.
Yep.
To me, I'm just going to be honest. I just Blake Buchanan is. He's going to struggle in the ACC again. He can't finish consistently around the basket against. I mean, tonight he was 5 for 9 tonight. That's probably the best you're going to get out of him in any given night, which is not a bad night. But I mean, there was a time tonight, one possession where he got a good look, he missed it, he got the rebound, got an even better look, which was a layup, and threw it about 30 miles an hour off the backboard into and missed the layup. It's just really frustrating to watch him play. The encouraging thing for me with Rhodey is that he's quit just like he's not playing the same way. If like his shots are all those little floaters from the elbow area. He comes off the curl, or he gets his shoulder by the guy, and as soon as he gets that shoulder by the defender, he's just putting up little floaters. And it that appears to be his shot.
That's the touch we need from Buchanan.
Right. And you don't get it very often. And if his back is to the basket and he's trying to score, it's very low percentage.
Yeah.
So I would almost rather see a lineup of Day, iMac, Rhodey, Saunders,
And
and
Kofi.
Kofi.
Yeah, but I mean, we like you said that we didn't play with the 6 guys really tonight. So
Yeah, I mean,
you can't. We have to have Buchanan run. I would in games. And obviously I'm not there to see. I would really love to see more Robinson. I want to see Robinson come in and see what he can do, especially with the size advantage like we had in there tonight. I'd like to see his aggressiveness in there and see some of that athleticism.
And he played well in limited minutes in the Bahamas. You know,
Right.
he got a little bit of run when the games were out of hand. And yeah, I mean, I think I can't see where Blake is like head and shoulders above him.
But we haven't seen much of him, so we can't really say
no,
it.
but I know what Blake is.
Yeah.
And Blake is
Blake's not been terrible. He doesn't have a lot of touch around the rim, but he can affect shots with his size on the inside. He'll block some shots. He'll rebound the ball a little bit. But I guess
you get spoiled when you have the Tobys of the world, the Gills of the world.
You got to remember that you were spoiled, but it's been a while.
The Diakites of the world.
It's been a while.
It has been a while, and yeah, I mean, I'm very concerned for this team, this game. Good win, you know. Happy to get that win, but man, when you let Manhattan shot 43% from the floor, you let them make 11 threes on you and shoot 42% from 3-point range. That's the numbers are too good, because how many games are we going to shoot 53% from the floor, almost 54%, and then we only made 6 threes, but we only took 14. So we actually got out rebounded tonight by Manhattan, which is not, not a great sign. 31-28 on the boards. We had 15 assists to their 11. Where we won the game was with 12 steals, and Rhodey had 4 of them. And
we got shout out Rhodey.
I got to give him credit. I mean,
yeah.
After the bad back Rhodey is Dougie Fresh called him, I think. I mean,
let me just say this. I'm gonna say this here. So, Virginia sports last weekend, we lost to Tennessee. We lost to St. John's. Virginia football looked terrible. Let's just celebrate a win. We had a win. Something that we've been looking bad, and we've been losing. So we weren't perfect tonight, but that was as good an offense as we'll play tonight. Villanova game, and we actually won the game. So we need to celebrate getting a W here. The ACC network has that special right now going of Tiki and Rondé.
I've got it recording.
It's coming on back to back. But it's on my TV right now. I can't help but glance up.
I noticed you watching it.
A couple things. Number one, gosh, man, glory years.
Those were the glory days.
Glory days. That's number one. Number two, I told Jack when we were watching the basketball game, at halftime they did a little special talking about this. I said, man, wouldn't it be something if we looked up and saw Jeff and Jay in the stands?
That would be in the Cavalier Connection intro video.
Yeah, because there many of those games we were at.
Oh, I'd say probably all of them home games. For the home.
And they were showing that Texas game, and I was like, "Oh yeah, Jack, I was there."
Oh yeah.
Jack says I'm just quite jealous. But
there was an NC State game where I think we hung 69 on them, and I'm wondering
I remember that.
Is going to be in there.
That's a special episode. That they decided to make it UVA night. They knew we'd beat Manhattan. Then they got this special. Then what's on after this? Do you know?
I don't.
We were number 1 in 1990. Is
it really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Making the UVA. It's UVA night here on Tuesday night.
I love it. I love it. After you get done watching the Cavalier Connection, go on over to the ACC Network and
enjoy the rest of your night.
Yeah.
And then after that, I'm sure it's probably going to be the unbelievable episode.
Yeah. Truly unbelievable.
Yeah.
The more we get, the further away we get from that, the more I think, man, that really was a once in a lifetime. Like we're never going to get another one of those.
It feels that way. Well, I'm not going to get into it. I'm gonna just celebrate this win tonight and take this 74-65 win against Manhattan. We got Holy Cross coming up on Friday.
Big news on the front of Friday. We get the Cavalier Connection. We'll have a member, not me and not you.
It's not me.
It's not you.
I heard it was a J-Lo. I thought it was a J-Lo.
It is a J-Lo. It is a J-Lo, but it ain't J-Lo Senior. It's J-Lo Junior.
J-Lo Junior will be
in the press, getting to ask Coach Sanchez a question post game, guaranteed. And man, we're excited for that. And we are not going to be there because we did not get approved.
Yeah.
So if you're a UVA alum, basketball alum, football alum that has a little pool with the ACC Virginia basketball department relations, whatever you want to call it. I'm not going to say the person's name just out of respect, but if you have an in with them, hey, shout out to Cavalier Connection and the College Huddle and see if you can pull some strings, get us in there.
Yeah, Daddy Lowe's going to be, I'm a part of the Trabajador group, the hardworking group. Me and my other son Mason will be up in the stands enjoying the game. And shout out to Andrew from our church for donating his tickets to us. So he had 2 seats. He has 2 season ticket seats. He can't go and donated it to me. And then Jack came through with the media pass. So if not, Daddy was going to pull out of the pocket. Daddy Lowe's going to pull out of the pocket to get him in the game. So Holy Cross on Friday at 4, Virginia Tech Saturday at 8 p.m. And then I think the basketball schedule is about to get jumping. Because what do we got? We got after Holy Cross, we got at Florida, at SMU.
Let's see. We have
Memphis on the 18th.
December. We got Florida, and that game is that at Florida.
At Florida.
Then at SMU.
Yep.
And then Bethune-Cookman comes in. And Memphis, who beat Connecticut, and then won again today against somebody else.
Yep. And then
Michigan State, was it Michigan State? Maybe
I think so. And then we play
2 huge wins. That is going to probably be. They embarrassed us last year at the Pyramid, and
we won tonight. We won tonight. We're just gonna say tough game. Then we play American, and then we get into the ACC schedule. NC State, Louisville, Cal, Stanford. Well, SMU at ACC too. I said we get into the schedule. We'll have already had.
We get into the meat of it.
Yeah. So
we got that right off pretty much. Not the very first of the new year, but our second and third games of the new year. That California swing where we get California and Stanford back to back on the road. Be an interesting little swing there.
If any of you out there listening here, you got a comment, question, throw it in here before we go. Who's with a bounce back win tonight? I guess you say over Manhattan.
How do you think Sanchez is feeling right now, so far?
I believe he's optimistic, but that's just because coaches believe in themselves and believe in their guys, and I think he's probably optimistic. Just listen to him in the press conferences, and I think he's optimistic.
He's definitely a process guy over result. I think he's a process over result guy based on the things I hear him say consistently. And that's okay as long as you ultimately get to the results that you want. And that's yet to be determined and probably for another episode. But, I think we are seeing the framework of what this year is going to be like. There was talk of playing 10 or 11 guys. That's not going to be the case.
Nope.
We're going to play about 6 or 7 routinely. And Tane will probably be the 8th. TJ might be the 8th. Those 2 guys, I really think it's going to be the chunk of the minutes are coming from the top 6. It would be very shallow.
And so no word on Christian Bliss.
Jeff, I told you he's not a real person.
You said I can't talk about him until
he is not. He is not a real person. I'm not convinced he's actually a breathing, living person. You can't convince me that he's ever done. He's never been a part of this program. He's just a made up figure. Until I see him on the court, he is just simply not real. He's not real. Next question.
I did want to mention, as I peeked up a little bit ago, our friend of the program, Jerry Radcliffe's on this episode of the Barber twins.
Oh, is he?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, awesome.
So
I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah, shout out to Jerry Radcliffe. But I think that's going to wrap us up. If anybody's got any questions, definitely we'd like you to subscribe. Applebee has arrived. Big app TBE.
We got. Oh yeah,
arrived.
Here's our guy.
Great to
Shout out to Mr. Applebee, former football player with the Who's, big time player.
Yeah,
we always appreciate him listening, and we always appreciate his opinions. Because who knows better than the former athletes? You got to respect their opinion because they've been there. They know the ins and outs, and they know the good things, the bad things, the things behind the scenes that people like you and I, we can hear about, we can talk to people about, but we didn't experience it. So you got to appreciate.
Glad to have you. Glad to have you. Yeah. The shooting was, we shot the ball well tonight. Defensively, we gave up quite a bit. And the game got close. We get the lead as much as 16, and next thing you know, it was down to as little as 6.
Yeah,
with about a minute and a half to go, and our guy IMAC hit a big 3 to put the game away. So shamelessly, Jack, and I didn't see this on the radio show. I guess the other day, they were talking about intramural sports, and Jack put out there, "Oh yeah, well, this is how they ended the segment." I do have to mention that my dad was basketball intramural champion at ODU. And still has his championship shirt at the house.
I need to see that shirt because I don't have a clue where mine is.
So all I got is an ODU intramural championship shirt. Applebee
C League.
Okay, you didn't have to tell all that now. And Applebee and company, they've
we were so bad they didn't even tell us it was a championship game until the game was over.
Yeah. But they were afraid we were going to tighten up if we knew it was a championship game.
That's true. That's true.
It was nice of them. We might have.
I think I had a season high in that game.
Yeah.
We did have 5 guys in double figures tonight. That's correct. Lots of guys, but like I said, you only had about 6 guys play the bulk of the minutes, so they got a lot of run. Those guys, and shots were going down tonight. So, Kofi
was a man amongst boys tonight, though.
Yeah,
he got that ball inside. They couldn't do nothing with him.
No,
I just thought we could have just kept feeding the paint and just scoring, and then when the double team comes, kick that thing out.
That kid on Manhattan, the freshman.
Yep.
They better enjoy him this year because he's going to hit the portal and go somewhere big. He'll be in a Power 4 next year.
Yeah.
If I was on the horn, if I was Virginia, I'd be on the horn quick.
This is funny you say that. Intramural is serious stuff. Definitely got to stretch. He's right. And that's what's funny about the thing. They were having a whole conversation about CNU intramurals and about people taking it serious. And then
We were
Jack,
mid-major intramurals, Jeff. We were mid-major intramural champions.
and then Jack threw me right on out there and said, "Yeah, Dad, my dad was an intramural champion."
Yeah.
Oh man. And my uncle used to joke me and say that I went to ODU and majored in intramural sports. Oh man. That's why now all I'm doing is doing this little podcast right here.
That's right.
Oh,
That's all
man.
we're good for.
Yeah. Well, if you don't have anything else, Jay, we're gonna I do want to comment on this because he's right. Women's basketball intramurals get serious. And Jay, you did too. We refereed the basketball for the intramurals too.
Yep.
There was a girls' basketball, and actually, it was a girl who ran the league. It was brutal, and she talked more crap to the officials than anybody out there. I have never seen. It was worse than Mr. Ferry over there in UConn. She was going nuts on me.
Jeff, should I, before we go off the air, tell the story of the Misfits?
Oh gosh, I don't know, Jay. We are equal opportunity here, and that makes me a little nervous. We did have
this is an honest story.
Mistake. Yeah, it was honest.
And this is not taking shots.
No shots.
But Jeff and I were refereeing a game, and this team called the Misfits was playing.
That was not the team name. That was the name Jay gave them.
Jeff, I'm trying to make it sound better. I don't even know if I can tell the story. But anyway, they were a team of misfits, and they were playing another team. They were getting destroyed. They got beat every night, and so I'm looking on the floor, and I'm trying to, like, they got four guys that and there's four guys. I'm like, all right, you need a fifth. You need a fifth. You need a fifth. Let's go. Let's go. We got to get our fifth guy. Let's go. And finally, the guy tugs on my shirt.
Oh, I told you.
Like, this and this was a little person, and I swear I did not see him. It was like I wasn't trying to be funny. And he tugs on my shirt, man. I'm right here, man. I'm right here. It was a little person.
He was standing next to Jay.
I felt about 2 inches tall when that happened. Because I was like, oh my gosh, he thinks I was doing it on purpose, probably, but I swear I wasn't. But yeah, Misfits, I don't think they won a game while they were there.
No. And no tattoos. You're right. No tattoos. I came in clean on that one. I told everybody after last week, I said the first thing my mom said to me when I came into church after we lost to Notre Dame on that Sunday, she said, "Oh, don't look like you have to get a tattoo." I think she was ultra relieved. She didn't even say good morning to me. She just said, "Oh, you don't have to get a tattoo."
Yeah, she was pulling hard for Notre Dame.
Yeah. All right. Well, you've blown us up here with that story. So we're gonna be checking back in later in the week for a Thanksgiving episode. We'll have a Thanksgiving release for the Virginia Tech Virginia football game, and Holy Cross Friday, Virginia Tech football Saturday. Go Hoos.
Go Hoos.